Hey guys, I've had a lot of requests to do a video, basic video on the YouTube Data API version 3. So in this video what I'm going to do is get a list of videos from a certain channel and have them display on a web page. Alright, now to do this we need to use two different methods or API calls from the YouTube API. And the first one is going to be channels list. Alright, so what this is going to do is get us information about a certain channel. It'll give us the name of the channel, the description, ID, things like that. But what we really want from the channels list, is the uploads playlist ID. Alright, there's a lot of different things in the YouTube API that are known as playlists or categorized as playlists, and a channel's uploads is actually a playlist. So we want to get that ID using this call here. We're going to make a GET request to this URL, and once we get that uploads playlist ID, we're going to then use the playlist items method. Alright, and we're going to plug that ID into this call here, and that'll give us back all of the videos for that channel. It's a little tougher to do than with the version 2 API, so I guess that's why I'm getting requests to do this. So what we're going to do is, if we scroll down, we can see the parameters that we can include in our request, and the required parameter here is called part, and we have a lot of different parts we can request. What we want to get here is content details. Alright, that's what's going to give us the uploads playlist ID for that channel. Alright, and then you can have filters down here, category ID. For username is going to be another field that we want. That's going to be the channel name. Alright, we're just going to use my channel Tech Guy Web. And there's a whole bunch of other things you can include as well. And then down at the bottom we have kind of a form here that we can fill out and make an API call. Alright, so the part is required. What we're going to do is get the content details, and then for username I'm going to say Tech Guy Web. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and execute that, and it'll give us a response. And let's see, where is it? Right here, uploads. Okay, this is the uploads playlist ID that we're going to need in order to get videos for that particular channel. And we can actually do that through this I guess testing interface. So let me grab that and then go over to playlist items and go down to the bottom, and instead of channels list, content details, we're going to use snippet. And then we want to put this ID in the playlist ID input field. Okay, so we'll execute that, and then down here you can now see that it's outputting videos. Okay, we have my build an audio player using HTML5 video. The description, it goes from latest, and then the next one you can see is part 1. Alright, so it's given us, I believe, 5 results by default. Alright, so you can see exactly how the API works and how the requests work. So what I want to do is, we're going to do this in an actual web page, and we're going to use jQuery to make our requests. Alright, so let's go ahead and create a new folder, and we'll just call it YouTube. Now I'm not going to go nuts with design or anything like that. We're not going to create an actual application. I just want to show you how to get those results and put them in your web page. Alright, so let's create a new folder called JS, and our index. Okay, and of course we want to download jQuery. Alright, and I'm going to put this into the JS folder. Alright, and then we're going to create a JavaScript file called script.js. Alright, so that should be all we need for now. Let's go ahead and open up Index. I'm going to use Notepad++. And I'm also going to open script.js. Get rid of that. Alright, so let's go ahead and create just a basic structure. I'm going to use HTML5. YouTube channel vids. Okay, so in our body, basically all we're going to have here is going to be a UL with the ID of results, and we're going to use Ajax to just fill this in. Whoops, UL. Alright, so that's pretty much the HTML. We could put a header in here. YouTube videos. And I mean, I guess we can give it a little bit of style. We'll put a container. And then I'm just going to throw a little bit of style on the heading. Okay, so container. Give it a width of 800. Margin auto. Overflow auto. And background white, and then we'll just do the body. Give the body a background of light gray, and the font family Arial. Alright, so that's our HTML page. Let's go ahead and just open that up. Alright, I guess we could give padding to the container as well. Alright, so now we also need to connect our JavaScript file and jQuery. So I'm going to say script src js/jQuery 1.11. I think that's it. 1.11. Alright, and then we want our script file. Whoops, we need to change. We need to close this and add the ending script tag. Okay, I'm just going to copy this, and I'll change this to script. Alright, so let's just make sure that this is loading. Alright. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we want to make a GET request to the channels list URL, which is this here. Alright, so let's go in here, and we're going to make sure the document's ready. So document dot ready, and then we want a function. All right, and we're going to use get. Okay, so first we want the URL. So let me grab this. Put that in there. Okay, now the options. So we want to do a comma and then some curly braces. And inside here we want the part. All right, the part is going to be content details. And for username. Okay, so what we're doing here is the same exact thing that we did on that test page that Google gives you, that form that allows you to make calls. We're doing that same exact thing here through jQuery. All right, so channel name, I'm actually going to create a variable called channel name. Let me just put this, let's just put it right here. Okay, I'm going to set that to my channel. Okay, channel name. Now we need an API key. Alright, so let me show you how to get an API key for this. You want to go to the Google API console. Alright, and you want to go to APIs and auth, and then credentials, I believe. Yeah. And then I just have a public key that I'm using. That's why I don't really care if you see it or not. You just want to go to create new key and browser key. And here's where you want to put your domain names that you want to be able to use this key. Alright, you can see an example right here. This is going to make it so that any page on example.com will be able to use this key. Alright, but it's fine to just leave it blank if it's going to be just a quick staging test app like we're doing here. You can just click create and you'll get a new one. And where's my new one? Well, whatever, you'll see something like this, and then you just want to grab this key, alright, and then paste it in your JavaScript file. Alright, so very simple. If you don't have a Google account or a developer account, just go ahead and create one, and you should be able to do that, no problem. Yeah, so that's it. So just do that. Alright, so I'm going to throw my key in here, which is public, so I don't care if you guys see it. Let's see, so we want to say key. And I meant to do that. I meant to show you how to do that at the beginning of the video, so I apologize for that. And that's all we need here. So I'm going to bring this up here, and then we want a comma after the curly brace, and then we're going to have a function. Alright, and the function is going to take a parameter of data. Okay, so now we're going to be able to get the content details from a channel. So now we need to figure out what we want to do with them. Alright, so usually you would create some kind of loop here. So we're going to create an each loop so that we can go through our results. And for the loop we want to provide data.items, and then we want a function. Alright, and you may want to just console log. You can console log the item variable. Alright, so what we want to do, let's actually try that. Okay, let's save that and go to our index page. I'm going to open up the Chrome tools and go to console, and reload. So what's this? File not found. You know what? This get, I don't know why I put that there. That's not supposed to be there. Alright, so it should just be like that. And item is not defined on line 11. So item, oh, inside of the function we need to pass I and item. Alright, so down here we're logging the content details. So if I open this up, content details, it gives us the Google Plus user ID. We want to look under related playlists, and we have the favorites playlist, likes, and uploads. Okay, so what we want to do is grab this. Okay, not from here, we need to actually grab it in our script. Alright, and we can access these items through item dot content details dot, and then where do I want to go from there? So we went into item and then content details. Next you can see that this is under related playlists. Alright, so we want to go there, related playlists. Alright, and then uploads. Alright, because you can see in related playlists we have uploads, and that's the last phase, I guess, of this path. So uploads. Alright, and what I want to do with this is put this in a variable. I'm going to call it PID for playlist ID, and we want to just set that equal to that. Okay, make sure you have a semicolon there. And what do I want to do with this? I'm gonna plug it into another function that's going to make the call to the playlists, to this here, playlist items. Alright, so let's go ahead and just, I'm going to create a function called getVids, and then we're just going to plug in that playlist ID. Alright, and then down here after this get request, we're going to create a new function. Oops, we don't need public. Function getVids. Alright, and then that getVids is going to take PID. Alright, now we're going to do something very similar to what we did up here. So for now I'm just actually going to copy this. Alright, now the first thing we need to do here is change the URL to this. Oh, that's what happened last time. I copied the actual get. You just want the URL. Okay, and then the part is going to be different. We don't want content details, we want snippet. Alright, it's not going to have a for channel name, but let's change this to max results, and we can actually set the results here. Okay, so for max results, let's just say 10. Okay, you will need your key, and we'll also need that playlist ID. Okay, so playlist ID, and then that's going to be that PID variable that we plugged in here. Alright, and then we have a function, same thing. We're going to loop through it, but before we do that I want to create a variable called output. Okay, it doesn't have to be equal to anything yet, but this is the variable that we're going to build on to have our content display on the page. Okay, so let's go ahead and actually we can keep the console log. Alright, but what we want to do now is get some data. Alright, so let's get the video title. Alright, so I'm going to create a variable called video title and set that to item.snippet.title. Whoop, I'm not typing anything in here. So item.snippet.title. Alright, and we can access any of those snippet variables just like this. Alright, now let's just keep the title, just use the title for a second and see if we can output that onto our page. Alright, so while we're still in this each loop, I'm going to say output equals, and let's make it equal li tags, because remember we're inserting this into an unordered list that we have right here. Okay, so list items, and let's just do the vid title. So basically we'll just concatenate here vid title. Alright, so we have it in the output variable, but we're not giving it to the HTML page yet. So let's do that. So underneath the variable, I'm going to append to results list. Okay, so what we want to do is grab the results ID and say dot append, and then what do we want to append is output. Alright, so let's see if this works. Okay, unexpected identifier, line 24. We have our key. Oh, we didn't put a comma here. Alright, so what it's done is it's printed out the first 10 video titles on from my channel. Okay, and we've also logged them in the console. We can look at more down here. So that's exactly what we want up to this point. Alright, so obviously now we want to embed the videos and not just the title. Now sometimes there's issues when when embedding videos using the YouTube API from your local file system, alright, because we're not on a server or anything right now. So what I want to do is I'm going to finish the code here. Okay, we're going to put in our embed code, and then we're going to load this up onto a server so we can see it in action, so we can see it work, because it might not work using the local host. Okay, so what we want to do here is, instead of just having this video title, let me just take this out for now. We want an iframe. Alright, and this iframe is going to get a attribute called source, or src, and we're going to set this to let's see, what are we doing here? www dot, actually we need to escape this first quote, so I'm going to put a backslash and then 2 forward slashes and then www.youtube.com/embed/ and then we need the video ID, so we need to concatenate here. So we're going to do a single quote and then a plus sign and then the video ID variable, then another plus sign and a quote and then a backslash. Alright, so that should do it. Okay, so if we save this and reload on our file system, you can see that the videos, they're not showing. Alright, so I'm just going to open up FileZilla here and just connect to one of my web servers. Okay, so we're on codeskillet.com and we create a directory called test. Okay, and then we'll just upload our JavaScript folder and index file. Alright, now if we go to codeskillet.com/test, now you can see we have our videos. Alright, so it's giving me the first 10, or the latest 10 videos I have. The height and the width are not very optimal. So let's go back into our code, and what I'm going to do is set a height and a width, and I'm going to have these. I'm going to create some variables for these. Alright, so let's go up here under the channel name and create a variable called vidWidth. Okay, and let's set that to 500, and then variable vid height, we'll set that to, I don't know, 400. Okay, and I think, is that all that I want for a variable? Yeah, that looks good. Oh, the max results, I want that to be a variable as well. I'm going to use vid result. Vid results equals 10. Alright, actually I don't need quotes around these numbers. Alright. And now we just need to insert them here. We do need to concatenate here. So vid height, and then this one vid width. Alright, so let's save that, and I'm going to re-upload it. Okay. So, I mean, it doesn't look, it's not the best it could look. You can go ahead and use CSS and style it all up, but basically we're just taking, the first 10 videos from my channel, and you can easily go ahead and change the channel from right here. Let's say we want to change it to Google Developers. Save it. Okay, that didn't work. Did I not save it? So channel name is Google Developers, save, and then upload. Oh, I just uploaded the HTML file. We need to do the JavaScript as well. Actually, I don't think there's a space. Let's try that. Alright, so there we go. So that's how you can use the YouTube Data API version 3 to get all the videos on a particular channel. If you like this video and you learned a lot from it, please subscribe, and I will be making more videos on the YouTube Data API, so stay tuned.